Welcome to week 4 of Tuesday Talks. This week we're going to be discussing supplements and supplements that I recommend that are all science-backed, so you can get rid of all those random ones that people are advertising on Instagram and focus on the most important. So you may have seen a few recommendations out there, but these supplements are what I personally recommend that all come from a heavily researched background. However, this is totally up to you. They are not absolutely necessary. Everything that I suggest, you can buy at your own free will. If you want to do more research about them, you absolutely can. But these, there are some studies in this webinar that have been pulled from PubMed, which is a very reliable source. Okay, so number one will definitely be protein, but not what you think. So many people encourage protein shakes, protein bars, etc. But I highly recommend that if you can get protein in your diet through food, so meat, dairy, lentils and beans, I'd encourage that more so than supplementing protein with shakes and bars. If you struggle to get protein in your diet, then there is absolutely nothing wrong with supplementing protein with shakes or bars. The way that I view it is either get it in naturally with fresh produce, which contain little to no additives, or reach for a protein shake twice a day, which is filled with natural, unnatural additives. So if you can hit your protein goal or thereabouts with natural sources of food, then absolutely do so. But if you do feel like you're lacking a little bit on your protein, or perhaps you're vegan or vegetarian and you want to fill and boost your protein intake for the day with shakes, that is absolutely fine. It's not going to kill you. Second supplement I wanted to debunk is pre-workout. Now, this could be a sensitive topic for anyone who does take pre-workout, and I'm sure, I think the boys are worse for this actually. They absolutely love pre-workout for some strange reason. If you've taken pre-workout before, you know it's the strangest sensation. You literally feel like you have like ants under your skin. So pre-workout is commonly used as a caffeine boost before a gym session. I have pulled a study from 2016 which concluded, quote, ingestion of the pre-workout dietary supplement led to significant improvements in anaerobic peak and mean power values in comparison to the placebo and baseline treatments. No improvements were observed in upper and lower body power or upper body strength. Taken prior to exercise, a caffeine-containing pre-workout dietary supplement may improve anaerobic power performance. So, unless you're an athlete focusing on anaerobic peak performance or power performance, there is no reason for you to take pre-workout. I would advise, if you are lacking a bit of energy, reach for a coffee. Coffee is a natural stimulant, it has no nasty additives in, and it will give you the mini boost that you need to get through your session. Saying that, I highly discourage drinking coffee at least 8 to 10 hours before bed. Caffeine does actually stay in your system for 10 hours after consumption, and even if you think you're immune to caffeine, it still has the same response in the brain and it will affect your quality of sleep. That is a huge one. I hear so many times 5-6 o'clock people are having coffees and oh, it's all right, I'm immune to caffeine. You're not. Your brain is not immune to the caffeine, so please be mindful. Next up is creatine. Now, don't be scared. Creatine is the most researched supplement in the world. If you haven't heard of creatine, creatine is a derivative of amino acids, and whilst it's not an essential amino acid, it is produced in the body in small volumes in the liver. Creatine supports energy metabolism in the muscles and can be supplemented to enhance performance, recovery and increase muscle mass. A catch with creatine, it's only a small one, is that the consumption must be consistent. So you have to take it every single day in order to reap the benefits. You'll see an increased strength, increased muscle mass, quicker recovery and an enhanced performance, especially if you are somebody who gets involved a lot in like HIIT-based workouts. So for example, me training for my Hyrox, it would be really, really beneficial for me to recover really quickly, perform at my best and increase my strength as well. There are various ways to take creatine monohydrate, either in tablet or powder form, and micronized creatine is a version that can dissolve really easily. So if you prefer to drink it, I would recommend that. The tablets are hench. They are literally about that big and you have to take 3 a day. So I would recommend powder form. There's also been recent research around creatine and the benefits on brain health, particularly in women and particularly in older people. So if you'd like me to go into a little bit more depth about that, I absolutely will. But there is supported evidence that has recently come out within the last 12 months that does support creatine around brain health. So I will go into that if anybody would be interested in me too. Okay, next, vitamin C and D. Let's start with vitamin C. Vitamin C is a classic and it's a staple for healthy skin, blood, cells and cartilage. Vitamin C is commonly found in citrus fruits, but you can also find it in foods like sprouts, broccoli and blackberries. Your body can't actually absorb copious amounts of vitamin C, and any excess vitamin C that your body doesn't need, we will weed out, so you can't overdose on vitamin C. Now, vitamin D is our happy vitamin, the vitamin that most commonly comes from sunlight, which we very much lack in the UK. Vitamin D is super helpful for bone health and can fight against osteoporosis. And alongside strength training, that is brilliant. Vitamin D also has other roles in the body, including reducing inflammation, as well as processing new cells, neuromuscular and immune function, and glucose metabolism. I would highly recommend supplementing vitamin D, which I do myself, because we just don't get enough. We just do not get enough sunlight in order to be absorbing the vitamin D that we actually need. There was actually a study as well during the pandemic that showed a huge percentage of patients who suffered greatly with COVID will actually had very, very low levels of vitamin D. I'd recommend starting with 1,000 IUD and then increasing to 2,000 after a couple of months of consistent supplementation. Last one, magnesium. A big one if you suffer with PMS symptoms or have PCOS. There have been numerous studies observing the effect of 200 milligrams of magnesium on women who experience PMS and who also suffer with PCOS. A study published in 1998 basically concluded that in the second month, there was a greater reduction of PMS symptoms, i.e. weight gain, swelling, breast tenderness, abdominal bloating, with milligram supplementation compared to the placebo. So the daily supplement of 200 milligrams of magnesium reduced mild premenstrual symptoms of fluid retention in the second cycle of administration. So if you are someone who suffers with PMS or has PCOS, then I highly recommend supplementing magnesium, particularly for the second part of your cycle. So if you found that nice and useful, I hope you did. There's a lot of information in that one. Please let me know. If you'd like me to go into any more depth about any other vitamins or supplements that you've seen on the market that you want me to debunk or go through, then please don't hesitate to ask.